Good morning, dear students. So I'm here with the Indian Express slide. Okay, and this is the newspaper of Indian Express. Today's date is October 30, 2025. So I'm here. I'm here to read all the important headlines of today's session. So try to cooperate with me and try to read all the important points and all the important news in detail so that you can easily able to revise anything and you can able to improve your English skills. Okay, so let's start. Amid a steep Trump tariff, significant progress in trade talks with European Union, says Goyal. Okay, before XI Trump says trade deal with India on repeat ceasefire claim. Modi the nicest looking guy, a killer tough as hell, said by Trump. Okay. Free trade agreement, 10 chapters conclude, European Union team to visit soon, says minister. Okay. President's Rafael short tie. President Draupadi Murmu before her short tea on a Rafale jet at the IF station in Ambala on Wednesday. She became the first Indian president to fly in two IF fighter. Her previous sortie was in Sukhoi 30 MKI in April 2023. Okay, so this is the news. All eye on Trump excited today. Peace plan could mark rise on new bipolar order. Okay. Voices of discontent, but Tejasvi's challenge how to expand tent, bring them in. Okay. India and China agree to maintain LSC stability, continue border mechanism. Attack on CRPF camp. High Court sets aside death for 4 acquits 5 of key charges. Under election ED, okay, lens 22 de-addiction center run by Punjab doctor that solid pills in open market. Okay. Acquitted after 43 years. Indian origin man in US now faces deportation. Okay. So this is the second slide and this is the explanation of the first slide. Okay. Tell me the full form of ED. Where is ED? I know no one is going to tell me, so I will tell you that Enforcement Directorate is the full form. This is about the city. DSA machine is critical in neuro procedures. Rupees 10 crore machines in Safdarjung hospital lying defunct for a year. Okay. Sacked custom officer held with drugs worth rupees 27 crore. Cartel busted. Man convicted in high-profile Nitish Katara murder case dies in accident. Okay. Firing outside singer's house in Canada. Lawrence Bisnoy gang behind it again. Okay. The Vishnu Sahasranama. Okay. 8 years after juvenile raped killed 60-year-old woman, he is convicted. Okay. So this is also about the city. Moisture insufficient, government gives trial a miss. Couple acquitted after Ghaziabad court throws out conversion charge. Okay. People visit Kartavya Path in New Delhi on Wednesday. High Court 6 government reply on PIL challenging blanket ban on school teachers offering private tuitions. Okay. The charge name is PIL challenging blanket. Okay. So they will charge if they offer private tuition with a school teacher. Okay. Acid attack case. DU student's brother, uncle held. Okay. Attempt to murder case against Madhu Kishwar Quast. DDA's East Delhi hub set to roll. What is transit oriented development? Devbhoomi, Uttarakhand. This is about the Bihar election. So, this is the news. Bihar Assembly election. Beyond Patna, voice of discontent, but Tejasvi widen RJD's tent. This is government and politics page. PM at Maritime Conclave. India will play role of steady lighthouse. Seven state and union territories seek to add breakfast to midday meal, center weighing costs. Opposition NDA launch campaign Bleach. Rahul Tejasvi target Nitish. Mask BJP has remote control. Opposition Thug Bandhan wants return of Jungle Raj, said by Shah. President shares Rafale moment with pilot. Pakistan falsely claimed it captured President Draupadi Murmu with Flight Lieutenant Shivangi Singh at Air Force Station Ambala. Asha workers' horrendum increase. Kerala government announces welfare pension hike aired for women ahead of local body election. Omar's law class promise violates MCC BJP. This is the slide of Express Network. Let's read it. Punjab born Canada businessman shot dead. Lawrence gang member claimed responsibility. Leaders may meet on G20 sidelines in November. Stronger ties vital. Modi speak to new Japan counterpart. Okay. Supreme Court flags delay in framing of charges in criminal cases. Weighs pan India guideline. Muiwa in Manipur will bring honorable political solution. Farmer tries to kill self-fearing role deletion over spelling error. Home medicine food kits behind Kerala's extreme poverty eradication. So finally, we are at the important slide. The slide is about the Indian and the editorial page. So wordly wise, a political things about the next election, but the statesmen think about the next generation. This is the one of the best line of today's session. So this is not welfare. Bihar does not need handout. It needs investment in health, education, and improvement in nutrition. Okay, so what SY Qureshi want to say? So in November 30, the Supreme Court admit that through the pre-poll fables, they should treat as corrupt practices under RPA section, where justice name is here remarked distribution of private goods to influence voter must be treated as corrupt practice. Okay, so this is the main thing that is by the court, where the court suggested that they will define, regulate fribbles and remain pending. Meanwhile, Bihar proceed along predictable lines. Parliament must amend the RPA to criminalize electoral bribery disguised as welfare. Okay, tell me the meaning of bribery. Okay, So let's read it in detail. Election are meant to be celebration of democracy. In India, they have become auction where votes are bid for with treasury money and fiscal sanitary become the first casualty. Okay, where nothing illustrates. So more than 2025 Assembly, Bihar Assembly election, where competitive populism has reached as a fever pitch. Okay, barely the week into campaign, where the parties promise that they will worth over rupees 8 lakh crore annually, more than three times Bihar's state budget. Okay, so this is the unleashed promises. Okay, by the political parties, where Nitish promises 125 unit free power, social security pension, where PM Modi transferred 10,000 to 75 lakh women under 7,500 crore scheme. Okay, where weak state fund as campaign currency. Okay, so not to done or outdone. So Tejaswi Yadav promises 2,500 monthly cash transfer every woman. Okay, one government job per family. Okay, so welcome to India. New political economy where welfareism has been weaponized into vote buying and public exchequer has become a private election fund. Okay, we must separate welfare from fribbles. Mhm. Welfare is a constitutional obligation. Food, education, healthcare, and pension. Midday meal are welfare. They improve nutrition, school attendance, where cash handouts before polls. They buy votes, not outcomes. Welfare creates capability. Fribbles create dependency. Okay. So this is about the welfare and the fribbles. Okay, freebies. So what given in the free and what's for the welfare of the society? This is the main thing that is written here in context of Bihar and how the political parties are doing their work there. This is the thing that is written. There is also hypocrisy in our political vocabulary. Benefits called incentive and reform. When they go to the rich, corporate tax was slacked from 30%, 22% within 36 hours, an important event in Houston, costing India, yet was hailed as bold economics. But when poor household receive 1,000, it become moral threat to nation. Why this double standard? So it's about the hypocrisy that shows that the benefits are called incentive and reform that are not incentive and that are not reform. Incentive means something that motivate others, something that motivate individual, and reform means the change, the overall development. Okay, overhaul हम बोले. Okay, so sudhar, this is the thing. So they talk about the percentage and the amount. Okay, so this is the percentage of corporate tax where India paid in this level. But when they when the parties or when the political workers pay 1,000 to a poor household, they become a moral threat to them or for the nation. Why this double standard? Means when India pays a huge amount to any country or any party, that's good. Okay, but when the same political parties pay 1,000 rupees to just a minimum amount to the household, then that's a bad. Why this type of double standards in there? Freebies fall into two phases: into election cycle before the model code of conduct (MCC) code of conduct. Ruling party announced subsidies, cash transfer. Okay, a legal but ethical use of public exchequer. Okay, where the MCC blocks new scheme by government minister, but party manifestos are extremely in 2013. Okay, the Supreme Court held S. Subramaniam Balaji versus Government of Tamil Nadu. This manifesto promised do not amount to corrupt practices. Okay, so the court acknowledged such promises shake the root of free and fair elections but stopped short of banning them, leaving a loophole that parties now exploit. Okay, so the paradox is under section offering a voter a cup of tea is bribery. Okay, yet promising 2500 million of voter is considered democracy. How? This is the thing. Okay, so the meaning of bribery is riswat. Okay, the goose. Okay, commission. So when voter when offering a voter a cup of tea is a bribery, okay, but offering 2500 per month is democracy. Can someone explain that? One of the best line of today's session and today's topic. If you're able to catch it, then that's a very good point that is raised by the author S.Y. Qureshi, that when some voter gets a cup of tea, that's called a bribery or a commission. But when a political party promises for 2500 to win election, is it a democracy? No, that's not democracy. Freebies now pose a systematic threat to India's economic stability. The RBI's report on state finance 2022-23 warned that heavily indebted states face physical collapse. Means already warned by the RBI that RBI report already warned the state that if they indebted मीन्स इफ उसके ऊपर बहुत ज्यादा अगर कर्ज होता है देन दे आर इन द फिजिकल कोलैप्स ड्यू टू रेकलेस पॉपुलिज्म. पंजाब ऑफर्स 300 यूनिट ऑफ फ्री इलेक्ट्रिसिटी एंड मल्टीपल कैश स्कीम. ओके, its debt to GSDP ratio stood at 47% in 2023-24, the highest in India. Rajasthan spent 56,000 crore on pre-election scheme in fiscal year 23-24. Okay, so pushing state debt 5.6 lakh crore. Bihar, one of the India's poorest state, now faces promises worth rupees 8 lakh crore annually. This is the condition, this is the problem. Who pays? Not the politician. Who promises? Not the parties who benefit. The taxpayer. Today's and tomorrow's freebies today are taxation and economic ruin tomorrow. This is the thing. Whatever they give in the free, that is paid by the consumer packet. Okay, still the main thing, the main idea is that they are the taxpayer who pay the tax, and they ruin, means they destroy the economic condition of tomorrow's of the state. Okay, and tomorrow's India. It's worth noting that not all subsidies are bad. When NT Rama Rao, Andhra Pradesh Chief CM, introduced 2 per kg rice, it eliminate starvation death. Bicycle scheme in Bihar increased girl school enrollment by 30%. Manrega provided rural employment security. The question is, how do we stop welfare from being misused for electricity by election bribery? Okay, this is the thing that is written here, where how do we stop welfare from being misused for election bribery? Okay, how? Means these all things that is provided by today's political parties, then how these type of welfare is considered as the election bribery? इलेक्शन में जो रिश्वत के तरह जो कमीशन की तरह लोग यूज कर रहे हैं अभी इलेक्शन बाइबरी में, वो हमारे ही वेलफेयर की चीज को हमारे ही ऊपर वो कैसे मिसयूज कर रहे हैं. आफ्टर गेटिंग इलेक्टेड, इफ some party is getting elected in any state, they have some rights that they will do this type of thing, they will do development. In terms of development, they have to do the same thing. If they want to make development in the same nation, they will provide schemes like Manrega and midday meal schemes. If these type of scheme will always shown there, but instead of that, in terms of election bribery, the same welfare that is given to the public after winning the election, then how they can use the same thing, same idea, same protology, that how that after winning before winning the election, this given the same facility, and they say that they misusing the power. This is the point that is raised by the author. The irony is that freebies are sold in the name of the poor, but the poor remain poor. According to Oxfam India's report, the richest 1% own 51% of India's national wealth, while the bottom 60% own just 5%. India ranked 130 in it. Just remember the rank. India ranks 130 in United Nations Human Development Index. One of the three children is malnourished in India. You know the meaning of malnourished. Instead of that, how they can able to provide us that from the our tax, how they can able to provide, and how they can able to give the promises that they will give us 2500 per month, these type of schemes to us, this type of fake scheme to the public. How? Why they are not providing the scholarship to the student? Why they are not using that tax or that fund in developing the state? Why these type of funds are used in that time where the election is done in that state, and that time they say just like the way that from next time we are going to say we are giving 2500 per month to the women, we are going 1000, we are giving 1000 to the all widow women. Why this type of things are happening there? This is just a ridiculous thing that is sent by the author. 81 crore people rely on free ration. Instead of this, people should have to, the political parties, the political leaders should have to think about it, that almost 81 crore people already rely on free ration. Then how? Where is the development? Where is our fund? We provide a lot of taxes to the government, but in terms of development we get nothing. This is the main idea of the author, that in terms of development we are getting nothing. Okay, in today's India, still today, a lot of people are relying on free ration. Look at the condition. India need jobs, skills, irrigation, healthcare, education, not temporary appeasement like providing 2500 to women, like providing, like building mandir, like building masjid, this type of thing, mosque, this type of not religious containment, the commitments they are wanting. They just wanting what? They just need all these jobs, skills, irrigation, healthcare, education, agriculture, these type of facilities in the state. Okay, in November 2023, the Supreme Court admitted a plea that pre-poll freebies should be treated as corrupt practice. Under RPA Section 123, Justice say that distribution of private good to influence voter must be treated as corrupt practices. This is the main line that is already highlighted in the front page, means front passage. I think here is the line, and still we are going to read again and again this line, that if you are giving private properties during the election time, it means this is the corrupt practice. This is a corruption. This is the main thing, and corruption is the main topic for the destruction, for the ruin of economy of any other country. Okay, so the country has suggested a constitutional body to define and regulate freebies. The case remains pending. Meanwhile, Bihar 2025 proceed along predictable line. Parliament must amend the RPA to criminalize electoral bribery disguised as welfare. Okay, so this is the change that the author want from the RPI to criminalize electoral bribery. ओके इलेक्टोरल ब्राइबरी मीन्स इलेक्शन के समय पे जो रिश्वत दिया जाता है दे शुड बी ट्रीटेड एज क्रिमिनलाइज्ड disguised as welfare. Okay, what then must be done? First, posted manifestos must become mandatory with penalties for false declaration. This is the main thing. Not from the independence, it's approx took 70 to 80 years from independence. India got independence on 1947. From that time, the main motto should be there during the democracy country is that they get if any political parties who win election, and if they shows false propaganda during the election, if they shows false declaration during the election, they should have to be just resign from their post if they elected on that post. Okay, these type of clear law should be made in any country. That's why India is on the back. India, not all other countries are doing the same thing, but India is currently continuously, the political condition of India is continuously the worst and the just ridiculous, whatever we can able to say. Okay, the commission already mandates them. Okay, the compliance is voluntary. Second, direct cash promises to specific voter groups must be treated as bribery under section RPA section 123. We have laws, we have sections, but still of that sections we are unable. Why we are unable? We are unable to say anything. A lot of lawyers, a lot of one of the top lawyers are in India. A lot of president, means president, prime minister, all everyone seeing the what happened in the election. Instead of that, instead of all the things, instead of things, the voters, the election, the parties who are in the election, they are just giving the false promises. They are giving the direct cash to the voters. These are the conditions in India. Third, we already know about the first, read about the second, and let's read about the third. No news scheme designed to seduce the voter should be allowed within 6 months of election notification. Okay, so if the election is within 6 months, okay, the time of election is left within 6 months, means no other new schemes is allowed. If we know these type of all thing, then why we are unable to implement on the same thing on the economy? Why? Fourth, party must disclose whether schemes will be funded by new loan, existing or new tax or cut to program. Okay, let's read it, the fourth one, where they says that the party must disclose, okay, how much will be funded by new loan, okay, existing or new tax or cut to other program. Okay, means how much loan, how much tax they can use for the development, and how much tax will be collected by the consumer, okay, from the consumer. Fifth one, welfare linked to education, jobs, and skill building should be incentivized over consumption subsidies. Okay, so the fifth one is welfare linked to education, jobs, and skill building should be incentivized over consumption subsidies. Okay, let us say, let us say it clearly: election are not auction. Okay, and India is not for sale. One of the best line of the author that they want to say that this is not auction where they can say that let's give 1 crore and I win election. This I will not think. India is just a democracy country. Democracy cannot survive if voter can purchase legally. Okay, there is nothing pro poor about reckless freebies. It is theft from development, fraud on the future, and corruption on consent. One question I have often asked, and why, which has remained unanswered, is why do all the bright ideas of voter welfare come to the politician mind only a few weeks before the election? Why? This is the question that is unanswered. Each and every question, whatever the author asks from us, whatever the question that is asked from the readers of the Indian Express, the author, I am definitely saying that I will definitely telling you that none of the question answer is completed. Whatever question he asks, none of the answer is completely given to the mm, author. That's why he has still this type of question in the mind. Okay, they just write something in the newspaper to development so that the mindset of people get developed and they think more about the whatever, about not about whatever, they think more about the democracy and what is happening in the India's economy. This is the main thing. Okay, so one question, this is the India does not need less welfare, it needs honest welfare. It does not need fewer election, it needs cleaner election. The choice is simple: vote banks or the nation, because the democracy that runs on freebie will soon run out of both money and meaning. Okay, so this is the last line of the author, and this is the one of the best topic and that is raised by the author, and that's why we should have to read the editorial page so that we get the idea of whatever is happening in the economy. Okay, and this is the main idea and this is the main thing. So let's read the another one. Money isn't promises. Rush to promise freebies in Bihar election campaign speaks of a short-term politics that goes against the state's aspirational class. Okay, it's also about the Bihar election and how they just want to grab the condition and the economy of Bihar. Damp squeeb, a smarter happiness agenda. This is the idea page with Kabul be moral, realistic. The Trump test round 2. Bisets thanks for laughs. Montha leaves trail of destruction in Andhra, Telangana, Odisha, 3 dead. I like today's editorial. One of the best. Each and every line is best in today's editorial. I hope you all are reading it in very well manner because it's improve your critical thinking and what is happening in the country and what is happening in the Bihar election. I think the same situation is happening in with all states, but this according to saying the current situation of Bihar, this is the question that is raised by the author. Okay, these all questions are valid and we all says thank you to the author that they raise these type of question, because not everyone have that much power or that much confidence to raise these type of questions. Okay, just because of some political fairness or anything else, they didn't raise this type of question. Okay, whatever there is written 2 to 3 page, that's best, that's one of the best thing that is written here. Okay, so electoral directorate. Okay, enforcement directorate right to Tamil Nadu DJP seeks probe into bribes of 20 to 25 to 35 lakh per post in State Department. Okay. Hmm. High corruption. I think the newspaper is only about the corruption or whatever the corruption, whatever the thing, whatever the bribery and whatever the rishwat that is just taken from the big authorities. This is the thing. Before I am Raipur director quit ministry, sided with institutes board during a standoff. Killed in drone strike, Haryana youth who went to Russia for better life cremated. Okay. Calculated attempt to silence dissent. Wangchuk wife tells Supreme Court to amended plea. Colonel bus fire. Police now hunt for third driver. Congress member hums Amar Shonar Bangla. Sarma order action. How are some vigilant groups long seen in step with government and stepping on its toes now? Finally, the economic page is here. First refiner to announce suspending Russian oil import, says refiner HPCL Mittal Energy. Okay, they are suspending the oil import. Okay, I think it's about India. Report of US sanction. Okay, vessel refiners say not aware of history of vessel. Okay. For some time, India will just suspending the import of Russian oil. This is the thing that is written here. US Federal Reserve cuts rate by 25 basis point. Okay. Niti VC, Vice Commissioner, I think. Vice Chairman. Cabinet note on National Manufacturing Mission underway. Indigo, Air India, back government's cautious stance on market access to large foreign airlines. Cross-border payments, RBI for same-day credit. CA satisfied with economy's response to global event. Toyota marks its ultra premium push with new Century brand. Suzuki Motor to rev up India launches investment. The world, day after strike, killed 104 people. Israel says it will uphold Gaza truce. US President to meet XI in Busan today. Trump finalizes deal in South Korea. US to get 350 billion investment. Pakistan says Afghanistan talks failed, accuses Kabul of backtracking. Sheikh Hasina warned of boycott after her party barred from polls. Russia tests an armed underwater drone successfully, said by Putin. German Sense exhibition combined 1000 years of fragrance with art history. This explained the explanation page, and this explained the Bihar's chief minister. Okay, after Sri Babu, Congress clout wins in Bihar. What to expect from the third Dutch election in 5 years? Foreign capital and Indian banks. Once a tightly protected sector, banking in emerging as one of the world's most interesting destination for the long-term investment. Okay. While this reflects confidence in India, there are also risks. Who is investing where? Sumi, Sumitomo Mitsui Banking Corporation Japan acquired 20% stake in Yes Bank this year for $1.6 billion. Okay, so this is the thing. Who is investing where? Okay, India, UAE. Okay, So read it. Okay, because it's important how the banks are investing and how the countries are investing. How Supreme Court retracted century-old principle regarding minor property rights. This is the sports news. Sister living brothers free. From 69 all out is 169. Worldwide century puts SA in historic final. Naruditsky, educator and influencer, the chess world knew and loved. Surya flicks into the stratosphere. Vinicius issue fresh apology over AI Classico outburst. So finally, I am going to end today's session. I hope you will like today's session because with my all efforts, I I shout at at some point, but I try to explain each thing in detail. And if you want link, I will provide it in description below. Okay, thank you for watching.